Concert Crew Podcast, we back again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Today, man, we celebrating a 25th anniversary, man. We celebrating the 25th anniversary of Camp Lo's debut album, Uptown Saturday Night.
Yes.
Sonny Chiba, Geechee Suede, this is their first album, 25th anniversary of Uptown Saturday Night. So let's get right into it, fellas. What was the climate in hip-hop at the time that Uptown Saturday Night came out? This is the beginning of 97.
You're in the middle of some years, like if you think about it now, 96 and 98 might have been those 2 years that, albums were just like coming out like crazy. And then 97, you're anticipating Big's album. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a lot of music coming out, in this time, and
you had to be different in order to come out then.
You at least needed a single, something on the radio or something.
Well, they were definitely different though.
You definitely needed a single. But we coming off
96.
We coming off 96, which some
December
of the biggest
96.
classic. Just the whole year, some of the most classic albums that we consider ever. But then you got the end of 96. We talked about Redman. We talked about Mobb Deep, Hell on Earth. Machiavelli came out. This is right at the end of 96. Then, like Taz said, Big is putting the final touches. He's pretty much almost done. Life After Death. You got the Wu cooking, Wu thing forever.
Exactly, and then after this, during that time, and then for this to come out, to be honest with you, this was like my break from them albums that you named from '96, because they was getting so much spins at the time. I was, listening to them albums so much that this was sort of like my break, and I wasn't mad at it because it was switching the style up and it was expanding, my listening, because like their dialogue was real heavy in here. You know what I'm saying? From my boy Sonny Chiba, man, he was a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as his whole swag and everything and how he entered a track, it was just dope, man. And like you said, and like Ted said, man, you had to have a big single or something to have you sticking around this time, and they had that single.
A record label wasn't putting you out. If you ain't had something a single that to go, you was gonna be on the shelf.
Yep.
If something wasn't circulating that's when you had to be on the radio. Now you can just throw a project out there. Back then, you had to have a radio single or a record label one putting you out. Great time in hip hop. Great time overall in hip hop. Mm-hmm. People was putting stuff out. I feel like it was more balanced at the time. Everything wasn't exactly the same.
Yep.
It was more different lanes that everybody was in. So did you where was Camp Lo at this point of their career when this album dropped? Did you know anything about Camp Lo?
Nah.
Did you ever?
It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't heard anything.
They didn't appear on nothing.
Yeah, they didn't have a cosign. They wasn't on nobody major record label. They ain't had no. They wasn't on like a classic album where you like, oh, Camp Lo came off this feature on a classic album. Like I don't know about y'all, but I don't recall hearing Camp Lo's name at all.
Me neither. And no disrespect to Camp Lo, this was a hell of a crap shot for whoever really was like, yo, man, put that out. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because nobody knew. And man, you got to think about what came out in 96.
Yeah.
Then the rollover to 97, you feel me, January, and all the big names that y'all, named the upcoming albums. This was a hell of a stick, man, and I wasn't mad at it at all.
Well, they was the first single was Cooley High on Great White Hype soundtrack.
Oh, that was on a Great White Hype soundtrack?
That came out first in 96, and then this came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Cooley High was
White Hype soundtrack.
Cooley High was the first single.
That was a movie too.
That
was the
boxing
soundtrack. Yeah, it was on the soundtrack. Yeah, Cooley High was definitely the first single. I didn't catch. I don't know about you being in New York, or if you was in New York. I didn't catch that being here. I didn't catch the Cooley High wave until after. I know that was the first single, but I didn't hear it until after Luchini, honestly. Well, what were your expectations of Uptown Saturday Night before it came out?
Like I said,
I didn't have no expectation on them.
Yeah, this album, it came out and it just was hitting.
Like once you heard the single, which the single dropped the same day the album did,
that
right?
Luchini,
So
I know that Luchini made you go get that album.
I think Luchini made.
They was playing that heavy on at night.
The video was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then they always split it up with another song from their album on each video. So it was
New York circulation was heavy.
Yeah.
Luchini.
that Luchini. Yep. And then when the video came out and it was split with that other beat, they started playing the other one.
Oh, word.
Yeah, they started playing that heavy too.
that was the Blasey song, right?
With Diggable Planets.
Swing.
Yeah, that was my joint.
But they was already popular, Diggable Planets, at that time. So that was their way
That was
in.
their cosign.
Yeah,
That was their, yeah.
All right. Did Camp Lo you feel like they have more to prove since they was a new group with a new sound in a time where it's a lot of heavy hitters popping?
They playing with house money, man. What they got to prove? Nobody knows them to prove what? Like.
But you know what? Out of all the music at that time, their style was ridiculous. The way they was flowing, nobody flowed like that.
Yeah. I think the only people that kind of come close and switch it up on that technique was probably Ghost and Ray. You know what I'm saying? That kind of fit in that. You get what I'm saying? That have you thinking a little bit with
the way they go back and forth. Yeah. But their style, no. There's nobody had that style.
What party song or feel good song was out like when Luchini dropped? Like, this is it. What Luchini? Like, what else was out? Like everything was like hardcore and you know what I mean, you had the Pac dissing niggas and I mean like shit like that. Like what did you have like that? Juicy's long gone. So like, what song was that?
It definitely had a different lane for sure.
Yeah, this was straight hip hop, old school hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, like MCing, like trying to bring the party, running the party basically.
Like that's club music. Like you ain't gonna hear a whole lot of bomb first in the club. Like,
nah, not at all.
or Heavy Muddy Waters.
yeah.
Nah, not at all. Uptown Saturday Night is the debut album from Camp Lo, released on January 28th, 1997 on Profile Arista Records. Camp Lo consists of Bronx, New York duo Sonny Chiba and Geechee Suede. The album was recorded from 1995 to 1996 at D&D Studios and New World Studios in New York City. Uptown Saturday Night was produced primarily by producer Ski Beats, with additional production by Ill Will Fulton, who was the executive producer of the album, and Trugoy the Dove from De La Soul. The album cover is a homage to Marvin Gaye's album I Want You, which featured the painting The Sugar Shack by Ernie Barnes. The name comes from the classic 1974 movie Uptown Saturday Night, which stars Sidney Poitier, rest in peace to the legend, just passed away, Bill Cosby, Harry Belafonte, Richard Pryor, and Flip Wilson was all in that classic movie. So that's where they got the title from. So let's get right into it. Uptown Saturday Night, the first track, Crystal Carrington.
Great opening to me. Great opening to the album. You know what I'm saying? They was just going back and forth, and Sonny Chiba, man, like his entry, man, to these tracks, man, was like, and they both played their role well for them matching each other, style and everything, man. So this was definitely one of my favorite songs on the album.
Yeah, this song, it switches to this song for a little bit in the Black Nostalgic video. It switches to this beat on that video. I always love how Sonny Chiba came in on the songs with his flow and voice.
Yeah.
It just kind of worked. They be riding the beats right. It's a nice opener. They both going back and forth. It's a dope joint. Yeah. Track number 2, Luchini, aka This Is It. This is actually the second single. Some people may think this is the first single because this is what they remember the most. Yeah. But it's actually the second single, man.
But this is what got the album popping though. Like
that
first single, I don't remember hearing it, before the album.
I agree.
But this right here got the album popping, and this would probably pushed it and sold it and shit like that. I don't know. I don't even know what it did as far as like gold, platinum, but
it's a classic song, man. This song still go today. You put this on, this still get people going. It reached number 5 on the rap charts. Then the video, just the whole vibe. This is it. What?
That whole beat,
pouring
man.
to the sky.
Beats,
Let's
man.
get rich.
Yeah.
What?
And then like, if you was in the studio with them when this was made, man, you had to know that this was a hit. Because soon as I heard this song, man, I just knew like, yo, this was crazy. Like, who this? You know what I'm saying? And to this day, man, this is one of them songs, man. You play it, man, it shakes shit up.
The Sonny Chiba be sipping on Amaretta. They had like the jukes, like they always had like a heist theme. They was robbing Jews, stuff like that. Jew heist. That was like their themes. So they had that going on in the video. It's just this beat's crazy. Just the whole vibe.
A soundtrack of 1997. This is definitely gonna be on there.
Absolutely. If you got a playlist from them years, Luchini is definitely on there. This song was huge. Track number 3, Park Joint. This is like a storytelling joint, man. The beat is dope on here. One thing I think Freaks mentioned is like they are heavy slang. Only people as far as like slang wise, only thing I can really compare them to is like Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang had their own kind of language. Camp Lo got their own language, just a lot of slang. You got to actually listen to it a lot to really understand what they're saying. But this is actually a storytelling joint. They going back and forth talking about scenarios, but it's just heavy slang. Yeah. And I think only because Camp Lo didn't have a long run, I think if they had a longer run in the game with like successful albums that a lot of people heard on a higher level, I think people would know their slang more, but the Wu did, so people know the Wu more. But that's the only thing I can really compare them to because they don't really sound like nobody. It's just a lot of different words and stuff, like everything. But yeah, this is a storytelling joint. Track number 4 is B-Side to Hollywood featuring True God, the Dove from De La Soul.
Yeah, this was kind of watered down to me. I ain't really dig this song.
It sounds like a De La Soul song.
Yeah, and that's what made it potholes. You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't really it neither.
They got the Bronx Connection. I guess this is kind of like their older cosign, because De La Soul from the Bronx, so it wasn't my favorite. It definitely sounded like a De La Soul song, though.
De La is not from the Bronx.
They're not from the Bronx? Where are they from?
Long Island.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's not a BX connection.
And I don't even think they're from the Bronx. I think they're from Uptown, from Harlem.
Well, they say they're from the Bronx, so maybe they...
Well, you know what? Yeah, they close to each other. Blocks.
All right. Track number 5, Killing Me Softly. This is another storytelling joint.
Ain't cheap if I ever see that cat again, cousin.
They both running it, man. The beat's slower on this. Yeah. Sonny Chiba kind of coming to save him, man. He got in a situation. Sonny Chiba coming to save him. As he say in the beginning of that joint, though.
Yeah, man.
I didn't like this too much.
You didn't like that? I like
Killing Me Softly.
The way he was talking.
They don't look tough, so...
But I don't think they was acting tough, man. They just like the rob stuff, Jew heist in their music.
Murder money.
Yeah.
So many words.
I don't think they came across as tough guys to me. Track number 6, Sparkle. This is my joint, man.
This right here.
This is my joint.
It's so mellow.
I got the bubbly pouring through me. I got the bubbly pouring through me. Sparkle. This is my joint, man.
This was one of the tracks on the album, man, that was very catchy. And once again, man, Sonny Chiba, man. Woof. Not taking nothing from Get You Swayed, but
it's like a drinking anthem, man. Like a just sit back, good vibe, a celebratory like drinking anthem, man.
Their flow on this song,
but it's a slow beat. He said, "Undercover faggot lover."
That wouldn't fly today.
Yeah,
he ain't fly in. That's why they was done.
After this album,
you may be right. You may be right. This is my joint. Sparkle is my joint, man. Track number 7, Black Connection.
This my favorite song on the album, man.
Yeah,
this is it right here.
Another storytelling joint, man.
And, this beat is everything, man. And they got this beat off the Chinese Connection, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee movie. And you know, at the end when he came downstairs and they had killed his teacher and all that, and whatever the case may be, and the police was down there, they wanted him to come out. Yeah, this was definitely off of that. This was definitely that beat. I know that for a fact. This is one of my favorite.
This is another one of them songs about a diamond heist, man. But dope storytelling joint.
Yeah, absolutely.
Track number 8, Swing, featuring Butterfly. That's what you was talking about earlier, Pito. The beat, it switches to this song at the end of the Luchini video, man. I love this beat, man.
Yeah. And then like the way that they ended that with that video, and then they was wondering who the getaway driver was. It was the boy from Diggable Planets, you know what I'm saying? Which made me like the song even more, because at the time, Diggable Planets was all right. That was a group that I liked.
I like the beat.
Give me your swing, I got mine, and that's the thing.
Ski Beats is nice.
Don't give me your swing, I got mine, and that's the thing. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I like to do Butterfly's verse, man. It was dope. They actually showed him love because he was the one that rapping in the video. It was his verse. So he pulled the mask down in the video. That joint was dope. Track number 9, Rockin' It, a.k.a. Spanish Harlem.
I didn't like that too much.
This is the you ain't like the Spanish beat? You wasn't dancing to this? Rockin' It. This is your lane, Peter.
No, not at all. No salsa.
No salsa.
Should have left that shit in Harlem.
Spanish Harlem.
Track number 10, Say Word.
This was okay.
Say Word. I like this beat though.
Yeah.
It was alright. They're featuring Jungle Brown. This joint was alright. Track number 11, Negro League, featuring Karachi Raw and Bone. The guy got a funny voice on this song, man. He sound like RBX or something. That joint
threw me off the song.
Because I like Sonny Chiba coming in here, but the dude with the funny voice, man.
The beat was hot on this one.
You like the beat on this joint?
Yeah.
I like Sonny Chiba, but my man voice just throw me off, man. He got that funny, this voice just funny, man. And he starts it off too, so he kind of set the tone.
Yeah.
Sonny Chiba kind of comes in and save him, but his voice throw me off. Track number 12, Nicky Barnes, a.k.a. It's Alright, featuring Jungle Brown.
And what's crazy is that this song is definitely far from one of my favorite songs on the album, but this might be one of Sonny Chiba's best verses on his album, on Nicky Barnes.
Everything we do right. Everything we say right. The crooks in the back, it's all right. I like this song, man. I like the beat, and I like this song, man. Track number 13, Black Nostalgic, a.k.a. Come On. This is the third single. Nigga, come on. They had this video. I always like this video. They had the Good Times theme in the video. The whole theme, and they had the actual JJ and
Velma, right?
Thelma. Yeah, they was in the video.
Like the beat.
Yeah, I like.
Nigga, come on.
The beat.
Nigga, come. This is like, to me, it's a smoothed out slow joint. This got me like that juke joint vibe, man. Like a Sugar Shack that you was back in the day in that era. This got that kind of vibe. But the video was dope. I always liked this video and how they had it had that Good Times kind of vibe, so it fit that whole theme in the video. Yeah, that was dope. That was dope. Track number 14, Coolie High. This is the first single.
Man, this right here would have ended out my 4-song EP if they let me pick the songs on this album. But
it's a slow song for the ladies, man. Slow song for the ladies. This is my shit, right?
I like this song.
I like this joint. And track number 15 is Sparkle, the Midnight Mix. It's like an acapella almost remix version of Sparkle.
What makes you appreciate Sparkle even more, due to you being really able to hear
the lyrics a little more.
Yeah.
Once I didn't hear the beat drop, switch the CD.
Yeah.
What was the impact of Uptown Saturday Night after its release?
It was there. You know what I'm saying? Well, the Luchini from the rip, it was there. It wasn't a major splash or nothing, because you coming off December and you coming off 96. There was a lot of shit that came out in 96 that I still was bumping. And like I said, this was like my little 15-minute grace period lunch break within them albums. And I used to pop this joint in, man. And the artwork in the cover, man, every time I always used to catch myself every time I'm listening to the album, I'm looking at the artwork. You know what I'm saying? Because it just seemed like it represented everything that the album was.
Well, this wasn't no platinum, double platinum, triple platinum type success, But I feel like they made their mark because this Uptown Saturday Night album, it's a whole vibe. It's the music, it's the way they was dressing, it's the visuals, it's their whole sound. It was like retro. It was like the whole, like this could be the soundtrack of that blaxploitation movie era. Like this could be in all of those movies. And they had their own sound, they had their own slang, like the way they was dressing, everything was different. So they brought a whole vibe. It wasn't just they were making songs. It was a whole vibe. And I think their peers their peers respected their difference because they was different. Wasn't nobody like them. So I think they made a lane in being different compared to everybody else.
Yeah, I like that Harlem Black experience.
Like Spanish
That
Harlem too?
70.
Oh, you talking about the 70s, whole type theme kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
I bet you did. You're in your prime at that point.
Born in 74.
He's an old head. He's an old head in 70s.
You remember them jukebox joints?
It reminds me of my dad. That's all.
Okay.
I ain't mad at that. And
Joke's over.
That was a good air. How would you describe the sound on Uptown Saturday Night? Particularly you, Pito, man. You know, you a producer, man. How would you sound that sound? Make sure you're talking.
Those beats. Ski killed them beats. Ski was the man then. I mean, he was coming off of working with Jay-Z and
Reasonable Doubt. Yeah.
And
So did you hear anything like from Reasonable Doubt to this album where it like he had a signature sound or anything like that, or it just because this sounds nothing like Reasonable Doubt?
The only thing I noticed the same was the drums. Everything else, all the samples he was real sample heavy here than Jay-Z's album.
Well, to be clear, he didn't produce all of Reasonable Doubt. I think he did maybe 3 or 4 songs. But I remember when we did the Reasonable Doubt 25th anniversary episode, I remember Taz said for one of the songs, he was like, this beat remind me of a song that could have been on Camp Low. I forget what song that was. But I agree with that. I agree with that.
One with the violin in the very beginning of the joint. What was that?
I can't remember.
On Reasonable Doubt?
But no, that song, whatever song that was, that did remind me of a song that could have been on here. But he had a whole sound with them. Like this is really the most whole full body of work that I heard Ski Beats produce, and definitely his best in my opinion.
Well, Original Flavor.
But did they have a body of work as good as this?
Nah.
I mean, he did. I'm saying I know he produced other stuff for other people, but this is his best body of work that he produced.
Yeah.
Like he produced the whole thing or a majority of it. Like he nailed this sound. Ski Beats nailed this sound to me. Like this is dope.
Did he do Feeling It?
I don't know. I have to check it. I think he did 3 or 4 songs on there, but I'm not sure which ones off the top of my head though.
Yeah,
but this sound was dope.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. The sound, it fit their style.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So and this was probably back. Well, I know for a fact this was probably in them days when you had your producer and both MCs there.
What about Cashmere Thoughts?
That's what it might be.
He did Feeling It too. So that all that
It
shit had that sound.
Feeling It definitely got that vibe.
I think it was the Cashmere Thoughts that you said that it was one of them songs. Did he do 22 Twos too?
I don't think so. I don't think he did 22 Twos.
Yeah, but this definitely had that sound, man, and it just represented everything that they represented. You know what I'm saying? And the way that they was dressing back then, Jokers is dressing now. So that's how fast forward.
But the production definitely matched their sound, man, for sure.
He did Politics as Usual.
That's my shit.
Okay.
Dead Presidents.
He did President. Wow.
Yeah. He did Dead Presidents.
I think it was 3 or 4.
You said Feeling It, so that's 3 right there.
Yeah. Those are 3 great songs, and that's a great contribution to a classic right there, man. But Ski Beats, man, salute. I think he killed this album, man. The whole vibe with the mesh, their whole presentation, and then the vibe. I think he
matched each other.
He perfectly. I agree.
He did Dead Presidents too. He did 22 Twos.
Yeah. Lord. 22 Twos.
Yeah, he did the main.
Yeah, he did his thing, man.
Clark Kent and premiered the rest.
Shout out to Ski Beats, man. He
yeah.
did his thing. He killed this production on here. All right, is Uptown Saturday Night a classic?
To me, it is. I'm gonna give it due to the time that it hit. You know what I'm saying? For it to be on a different type time. And Luchini, I never, can say a song can make an album, but Luchini made a difference with this whole project, and it was classic at the time, and it wasn't classic at the time, but over the years it grew on me, and which bring me back to some glory years. So it was classic in my book.
Classic singles, not a classic album.
Yeah, that's what I was say. Luchini, yeah, classic singles, not a classic album.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with classic album, man. This is the album I can I like the whole vibe, and when I want to hear a certain vibe, I can play this album and I can listen to it front to back. Even some of the songs I don't like more than others, and I get into the whole vibe of this album. I like the whole vibe, man. And this is the album that let me know that I was into different stuff. I didn't always like the same stuff, because this album, like you said, Freaks, is like, to me, was like a break from everything else.
Yeah.
So this is like a different vibe I can go to when I don't want to hear it so hardcore, aggressive stuff.
Heavy.
Yeah, this is a whole different vibe I can turn into it, man. Shout out to everybody, all my CAU people, man. We used to always talk about hip hop at Clark, and I remember one time we was saying, they was like, "Yo, Carl, name us some albums you think from like the New York, like the glory '90s era that you think was kind of like slept on but classic." And I remember this was in the CD heavy era, and I remember I had Uptown Saturday Night, Midnight Marauders, and AZ Do or Die. Mm-hmm. And some of the people that was younger didn't hear these albums, so I had the CDs on campus, and they was coming over dubbing them like, "Yo, these albums is crazy, man." So I kind of put people on like, "Yo, I never heard these albums, man." So Uptown Saturday Night was always one of them joints, man. I always respected it, and I think it's a classic, man. I love this joint. Why wasn't Camp Lo able to duplicate this success after this album on their future albums?
They ain't have a Luchini again.
Were they still with Ski?
No, Ski Beats did it. Ski Beats definitely did their albums. The main reason to me, because their next album didn't come out to 5 years later. By then, in the 2000s, hip hop changed. It wasn't as balanced as it was then. But also, they cut. That was the time, like 96, 97, 90, 98,
the lyricist was
where
gone.
a lot of, not just that, but a lot of the record labels was folding. Like, you might come out with your first album, and then the record label fold and go to a major, and they ain't care. The major didn't care about you no more. It happened to AZ. It happened to a lot of people, and that's what happened to them. They was on Profile Arista, and then Profile folded. What's Arista gonna do with Camp Lo when you got singers and stuff on your label? Like and they wasn't selling double platinum, so they like, why are we going? Put
Waste
in
time with them.
and I think that's what happened to them. So it wasn't really that their albums was really bad. It's that they ain't had no budget and nobody heard it. So you done. You don't got no radio song. You couldn't go back then.
So I guess Luchini wasn't strong enough to get him another deal. But that song stood out, man. It stood out.
Absolutely.
So I thought that was enough to maybe give him another shot, but they couldn't find that again. I can't tell you another Camp Lo song after this album.
Yeah, man, I might have to concur with you on that.
I actually can, but I do. But no, they had some all right joints though. The second joint wasn't bad, and then they had some joints with Pete Rock that I thought was dope. This Tiffany's or something. Yeah, they had a couple joints, but again, those was more on the underground, low level. They wasn't nothing that was getting out there to the masses anymore. They didn't have that push behind them anymore. Nobody was out to push them, so they kind of suffered as far as the mainstream in that area. But they got a cult-like following because of their style. People still rock with them. So I know y'all probably didn't hear any other discography, so y'all would consider this Camp Lo's best album?
Yeah, absolutely.
Easy.
Hands down.
They made another?
Yeah, they had several.
They made a couple.
What's your favorite song of Uptown Saturday Night?
Gotta be Luchini for me, man. Just was
Luchini.
Black Connection to me.
I'm gonna go with Luchini, of course, but I like Sparkle a lot. That's my joint. Got the bubbly going through me, sparkling. Have any albums came out? This is the reaching point of the program. Has any albums came out in the last 25 years that remind you of Uptown Saturday Night?
Nah, not like that. Not to say it like that, but is there any? Just throw a little something more at y'all. Is there any albums that wasn't like that, but they had a major single on it, like Camp Low?
Oh yeah, that was a lot of albums. Like that's the whole reason I bought a lot of my '90s albums. I heard a single because it wasn't streaming then, so you had a single and then you bought the album. It was a lot of albums I got that was trying.
Camp Low was different because like they had Luchini. To me, they had a couple like hidden songs on there, like Be Rich. The dude that had the Woe Now song, he had a big single, but that I didn't hear anything else on that album. He was out of Baltimore, but that I don't know. That joint was on live. NBA Live, they put that song.
Yeah, it was a lot of singles there. I bought a lot of albums off of singles that was trash. I mean, Ski Beats is connected to what's the dudes? You ain't getting nada.
Sporty Thieves.
I know one of them passed away, but he was connected to them too. They had a single. I bought their album. I think they had 2 singles. I bought their album.
That single wasn't bigger than Luchini though.
No, I wasn't saying it was
bigger. I'm
bigger.
talking about on the level of Luchini. Luchini is like one of the biggest singles.
But
not in the I'm
but
not
to be
saying
honest, it's
like
like a cultural.
Hold on, was that Sporty Thieves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that wasn't their biggest song though, wasn't it?
They had 2 songs and the
Sporty
other
Thieves
songs.
was
right?
Scrubs,
No
yeah.
Scrubs, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if those are the same albums though, but I bought one of them from them, and Ski Beats was
you ain't
behind
buy
it.
the other one for no scripts.
I don't know. It might have been the same album. I don't know, but I know because he had a situation because when he was connected to the Rock, he had a situation that he started called Rock a Block. Ski Beats did. It was called Rock a Block, and then he had Sporty Thieves on there.
So that was a response to No Scrubs.
Yeah, No Scrubs was already out,
Yeah.
and they made that as like No Pigeons.
No
it was
Pigeons,
called.
yeah.
No Pigeons, yeah. But nah, I don't really got nobody that really captured the Camp Low vibe that I could think of. Really, you know what I'm saying? The reach, they just was different, man.
For some
got
reason,
somebody?
when I hear Ski Beats, I think of Just Blaze.
Really?
The way they both sample the same way, but then when it comes to the drums, they're totally different. Like he follows the groove. Just Blaze, he turns it into rock.
Bink ain't gonna like that.
You know?
What is that?
Bink ain't gonna like that.
No, he's not.
You know what? Bink sampled like that too.
Bink dope, man.
But Bink
dope.
turns it into like he adds some touch to it that's different.
All right. Well, 25 years later, what's the legacy of Uptown Saturday Night? 25 years later.
Luchini was a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
To me, but I mean, it stood out. It stood out. They had a single that stood out in a great era of hip hop, the golden era. They had a 3-year period, 96, 97, 98, where I don't know if hip hop was any better for me. But, and they had a single that stood out.
Man, Uptown Saturday Night, it made its mark in a great time in hip hop. It was a small. It seemed like, you know, it was an album that may have got lost, but it made a mark in a great era of hip hop. You know, Luchini, because of their style, because of their slang, they made a mark, and they had the respect of their peers. So in a great time where you think an album like this would get lost, they was able to make a mark, forever mark, and they got a single that's forever. You play it in a certain atmosphere, and the people gonna get excited. People gonna smile. The people gonna get hyped. Uptown Saturday Night, to me, it's a dope body of work. It's a whole vibe to me.
And don't get it fucked
album.
up. This album got some joints on
It
here.
got
though.
some joints.
For real.
Man, this album got some joints on there.
that bring back the memories for me and put me in that time. And that's why I made it. You know, that's why I said it's a classic, man. Because at this time, man, music, man, was really, really dope, man. And for them to bring something so different, along with like great videos and great artwork and everything, man, this was a great project, man, for them, man.
Yeah,
Do you think young boys respect this?
Absolutely not.
Nah, they don't want to hear this.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
They gonna be totally. What are they talking about? They ain't trying to hear
So
that.
why
They
they
lost.
sound like that?
They lost. 'cause
Their
they ain't had
drums
no
is different.
gunshots.
Their drums is different. Like their cadence is
They ain't
different.
got no
Like,
808s. They gonna like, what are these guys talking about? That would be an interesting, like, videos they do where like young people sit there and they watch it and you get their reaction. They gonna like, what is this?
I get frustrated. I couldn't even shut that with them.
Over here. What is he saying? I don't know. They're gonna be upset. Like, it's gonna be hurting. Their whole minds is gonna be messed up, man. But salute, man. Salute to Camp Low. Salute to Sonny Chiba, Geechee Suede, Ski Beats.
Don't sleep on Geechee.
You know what I'm
Geechee
saying?
got
Everybody,
bars.
everybody that's involved, Geechee, the Geechee, man, they both, man, Geechee
both.
and they play well off each other,
Yes,
man.
they
had
do,
they had a
man.
dope
It's
chemistry.
a hell of a
man.
1-2 punch.
Yeah, they had a dope, man. Salute to both of y'all brothers, man. I know they getting overseas touring money heavy over there. They love them out there, man. So keep doing y'all thing, man. Y'all, this is a great body of work, man. I think it's classic. Some people may not, but I think it's a dope body of work. Salute to both y'all brothers.
Deserve to be.
Happy 25th
25.
anniversary of Uptown Saturday Night.
Yep.
But we Concert Crew Podcast. Make sure y'all go follow us at
Subscribe.
Concert Crew Podcast. Make sure y'all go download, subscribe. We on all digital platforms. Make sure y'all go to our YouTube page, man. Subscribe to
hit
all
that
of
button.
our videos, man.
Hit that button
Subscribe,
for us.
man. Go support all of our videos, man. We here. We ain't going nowhere, Happy 25th anniversary, Uptown Saturday Night. Pito, hit us with the fader.
Let's
we
go.
out.